the hierarchy becomes corrupt eventually, and they talk about Earth and all that corruption.
Yeah, well, the passing the baton sort of thing, right? It would have taken like hundreds of years for the society to mature to a point where it wouldn't just turn into a fucking dystopian nightmare, right?
Yeah.
Which it kind of sort of was.
Yeah, we're just broken, flawed fucking monkeys in shoes who still believe in people in the sky 10,000 years in the future, when we have necromancer robots and interstellar space travel. The cycle repeats.
Oh, yeah, well that's fucking great. It's so crazy.
So after the insanity that was the conclusion of season 1, we've kind of leveled off and reset.
I should have watched the first season again.
Yeah, I rewatched the first season.
I didn't.
There was a lot of hectic shit that I forgot. I was very high when I watched the first season, and there was a lot of crazy insanity that went on. And by the end, like episode 10, it was just at the crescendo of madness.
Oh yeah. No, well, as I learnt, right, by watching the first episode of this season, where they're trying to reconcile everything that's happened. Right, and trying to reorient myself. Right, and what the fuck is happening?
No, I knew I needed to rewatch season 1 because I watched it like a year ago, and
I should have rewatched it. Well, it doesn't matter. Like you get caught up fairly in short order. I found that it was disorientating.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right, in the first episode that they were...
Yeah, you didn't remember what was happening.
So trying to reorient it.
Yeah, so they're on the tropical zone. Nice change of atmosphere. Even the colour palette is like completely different.
It's all changed.
Season 1 was like grey, this one is like brown. Mother and father have been taken by the atheist community, and there's been 6 months. 6 months has transpired. Campion has obviously... This is evident if you watch season 1 straight into season 2. He's aged like a year and a half in the last 6 months.
His voice is breaking or whatever. She even comments on that.
Yeah, you kind of have to, because whoa, Campion's old.
I've missed you so much. Your voice is half an octave lower.
I was watching it and I was waiting for something cliche to happen. Right, because they're captured by the atheists and all that sort of stuff, but then they're not captured, and then they're just welcomed, and then But then we got like people with bomb suits on and fucking. I was waiting for them to be like the evil. Like the we're gonna lock them away. We're not gonna fucking trust them or trust you or whatever. And then they introduce all this other crazy shit. Fucking the quantum supercomputer.
So the atheist community is run on this supercomputer called the Trust, and it orients their entire society. It was gonna run the world if they won the war, but instead they've just tacked it onto the ship and flown somewhere.
Well, again, it's like. Yeah, and you gotta remember, this guy has like a stack like that of lore about the universe, right? Which is that...
And he has a clear and concise vision of where it's going, the creator we're talking about.
It's like we didn't really know that much about the other side of... We knew about the
Mithraic.
The Mithraic. We knew about the Mithraic. We knew kind of what they're like and what their deal is.
Season 1 was dealing with them and soul and their religion and all that.
And now we're fucking on atheists, and they're like a techno. They were aiming to be like a techno utopia or whatever, which is really interesting. It's like fucking fascinating.
Fuck God, let's put our trust into this
quantum computer, supercomputer, fucking we're the collective, and our laws, the tasks, and it could easily be dystopian, but it's kind of not dystopian. It's
kind of border on that with like the punishments and stuff that are going on, and the stuff that are... We'll get there, but it's willing to sacrifice 2 people to save 3 people.
Yeah, well, it's the unthinking machine.
Yeah, it doesn't have like empathy. It has logic.
Yeah, well, that's the atheists are all about logic. And, fucking religious people are all about fucking, magic sky daddy and da, right? And it's so much more complicated than that.
Yeah.
Right? In this, right? There's elements of that, and again, that's the sort of could have been. It's kind of a cliche, right? Like, and as you said, we'll get to that, right? But then it's not.
Yeah.
It's so much more nuanced than what.
And there's several characters that are bordering on the line of atheist and religion. They're going one way or Campion, like, he's like an agnostic. He doesn't believe in soul, but he has beliefs. But he's being brought up by an atheist, fucking necromancer. So yeah, there's computers like, we're cool, we're made by the same creator, live in our community. And yeah, they get this like nice little happy reset, tropical zone. It's all like beautiful.
Except for the acid.
Except for the acid war, which is like horrific and brutal. I assume there's a source of water here, or they have something to.
Well, the rivers, the river, the streams and stuff aren't fucking acid, right?
There's just an ocean of acid,
which we didn't know, which is interesting. In comparison, the first season was actually very sparse on the sort of crazy details.
Yeah. Well, it was like a semi-arid environment. And it just was just a desert.
It's an arid planet with fucking, you can grow fucking irradiated bloody tubers.
Yeah, that'll poison all your children and kill them all.
There's giant caverns through the planet, but whatever.
There's some creatures that start right.
But now it's like acid ocean with crazy fish people and fucking whirlpools in the ocean and fucking
And all the terrestrial plant life and stuff that they built looks really interesting and alien different. There are lots of big set pieces where, like that little android girl's running away from the tank, where like they're big open like set pieces that they've built that look alien and interesting and different.
Yeah, it looks that's it's not a pine forest, right? It's so interesting. It's familiar and it's alien at the same time, right? Which I think is always the best sort of mix.
Yeah.
Right, you can do full sort of alien, but if you do it the wrong way, right, with the artistic vision of it, how do you imagine an animal looks like, right? If you try to make it alien, it can come across as poor, right? And then you have to do full CGI for it or whatever, and it just becomes a nightmare. Right? Yeah.
Grounded in some sense of our
Well, they've got birds or whatever, right? Yeah. And it's like, they're just fucking birds. Yeah. Right? Whatever. It doesn't really matter.
Well, they've chosen this planet because humans can survive. It has atmosphere and temperature.
Familiar and alien at the same time. And as I said, it's a good mix and it works well and it plays well to probably the production of it, right? Yeah. How do you make a fucking giant, like the baobab trees or whatever that you see in fucking Africa or whatever, but they're different. Yeah, or the cactuses or whatever that have the bulbous fruits on them or whatever.
Yeah. Then on the other side of the island, to begin with, but then he migrates. We got old Travis Fimmel doing his fucking thing.
Love Travis.
Yeah, he's great.
Well, I'm glad that they sort of... Now, I don't know whether this is a writing thing, right? That they toned down the sort of messiah complex that he had. Because it was getting absurd.
He went batshit fucking insane by the end. Yeah. And he was wandering around in like a crazed psychedelic haze.
Yeah, no, he's nuts, right? And he had the Messiah complex. And he was he alienated everybody who was near him, and he fucking went off and he went cray-cray. And he comes back, and I don't know whether or not that's still lurking underneath the surface, right? Or and only because of circumstance he's toning it down before bringing it back, right? Or the more grounded Travis Fimmel, because I think after the 4th episode, it seems like he's going to go back to, now that he's lost his powers, he's going to go back to a sort of more scheming character.
Yeah, well, he's going to have to.
He's going to have to.
He starts to collect all these people for his new congregation, and he talks about we're not going to call each other priests.
But the only reason that any of them want to have anything to do with him is because of the fucking eyes. So, which I didn't. I completely forgot that he had done that.
Yeah.
Right, and I was wondering, why is his face all fucked up?
Yeah, I thought that at the beginning too, and then it slowly reveals itself.
Yeah.
So he's ingested Lamia's eyes, or mother, if you will, and that's giving him part of her powers, and through that, he's able to woo that girl and android daughter. She feels like the presence and the power.
Yeah, I feel soul. You are embodying soul.
Yeah, there's an energy coming from him. Then he gets a tank, and then he gets all those other people. Which that sequence where fucking father was using them as like bait to bait that serpent. That was such a great
father
concept.
just sort of like
just going about it. He's like, yeah, this makes sense.
He's still my favorite character.
Yeah, he's great.
I think it's such an interesting thing by basically having their names be father and mother, right? It's like the saying, if you pretend to be something long, I think they actually say that.
Yeah,
if you pretend to be something long enough, you become that.
Yeah.
And by constantly referring to him as father, right? The guy, the African American actor,
Hunter.
Yeah, Hunter. He's fucking he starts calling him Pops.
Yeah.
Right, which means that it's moved past his name.
They've come so far because fucking mother murdered their entire fucking civilization and kidnapped them.
That was always a bit of a weird sort of like she just kidnaps these children and they have no reaction kind of sort of to it.
Well, at the beginning they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And she's like acting out domestic situations, but they're like hostages. And then over time, it's like Stockholm Syndrome.
It is Stockholm, but I think the kind of excuse other than Stockholm Syndrome is that the society of the Mithraic wasn't a very familial society. Like they didn't have very close bonds, and like it was the Catholic Church, right? Where fucking children
did the children thing, and you didn't interact with them or play with them,
unless they're fucking molesting them or something in cryo sleep or whatever, right? And impregnating them, which happened. That was a thing that happened.
Rape
Remember
babies.
that the guy with the fucking bomb cast on his head?
Tempest, she's still pregnant with a rape baby. She's still doing her thing.
So that's sort of makes it easier to sort of go, they probably weren't loved very much by their parents, right?
That's that. So they've become this little family unit now. And once again, and we talked about this with the season 1, but the actress playing mother and the actor playing father are fucking so brilliant. There's like stilted, mechanical, yet lovely, yet horrible.
That it's still one of the greatest balances of how do you resolve what an automaton, right? That doesn't, like, there's still a debate as to whether or not father is actually conscious or not just mimicking human behavior.
Well, they start to like crack as they get older and feel jealousy and all these human emotions start creeping in.
But it would be so easy to have those characters. They start off as androids, right?
Yeah.
And then they basically just turn into regular human beings in the way that they act, right? And they're not doing that. We're not doing that, right? They're still fucking androids, right? And it's great, right?
It's a fine line, and they're riding that line perfectly. And like the lead actress, whatever her name is, Amanda Collins or something. It's like I feel like every one of her mannerisms and body language and
what was she watching and studying to prepare for a role where she's playing a fucking messed up android,
maniacal and violent and despicable and lovely and kind and open-hearted, all
maternal, extremely maternal. No, she's great. Makes it such a likable character.
Which is funny because at the beginning of season 1 she was like the bad guy. And then she wasn't, and then she was.
It was all weird. And no, there are no good guys in this. Who are the fucking? You tell me. Maybe father. Maybe father's the only innocent bystander.
I like how he's gotten a hobby too, aside from character. He just found like this 1,000,000-year-old ancient android. Starts pouring like blood fuel on it.
The fucking fight scene where he fights the fucking... That's Billy? Like a Mad Max fucking... straight out of Mad Max. And he fights, Billy or whatever. And it's like, and they're walking home and he's sort of like...
I hope your ears didn't hurt, children, from all the cheering.
From all the applause. I'm
like... enjoyed it? And then, yeah, because Hunter told Campion that he was like a super resilient, strong fucking...
Of the generic models or
but
whatever.
he was just saying that to comfort him. And Father went into that fight thinking that.
And it was a human fucking thing, right? It's like he was
placebo.
Yeah.
And then he finds out and he's like, oh.
And he has a little bit of a thinking moment as I walk off screen.
Am I not the toughest generic service model ever built?
That's just something I told Campion so he'd stop freaking out about you dying. It's okay, Pops.
Yeah, that escalates somewhere. We don't know where yet.
The weird alien android or whatever that he brought back to life.
It's some being of light. I don't know. There are several things going on.
But there is a lot happening.
Yeah. It all kind of resets and grounds itself and starts ramping up again.
Yeah, it's really interesting, like the bait and switch with the snake monster.
Yeah.
That's like a big bait and switch.
Yeah, that thing's a rape baby as well.
Yeah, no.
She went into the simulation and she thought her creator impregnated her. But there's a signal, right? It's being blocked by the tropical zone. But there's a signal that was speaking to them all that made Marcus think Sol was talking to him and was showing them images of their dead children.
But it's coming from like the center of the planet or whatever.
Yeah. And it tricked an impregnated mother with an android serpent hybrid.
But there's, if you remember in the first season, there's snake skeletons, like giant serpent skeletons as well. And there's the holes in the...
Yeah, so it's like a hybrid of mother and one of those things that this signal impregnated her with. And then, by the end, Mother's, trying to create a brain chip to, control it. I'm like, what? Where the fuck is this going now? You're going to put a brain chip in the giant serpent monster?
Snake thing, and and you think, that the Trust would, order it to be destroyed or whatever, or to be hunted down, and it was sort of like the way that the Trust was reacting to her was not the way that you'd expect. Trust is gone now, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, she turns it off.
It's fucking gone.
She didn't smash it, so I guess they could just...
Well, that's what I thought, is can you not just... But probably not.
I have a feeling it's coming back, but maybe not soon, or...
Yeah.
Maybe not to the same degree.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's unpredictable. This isn't like a normal...
Well, so the only thing I can think of...
trope.
The only thing I can think of is this is as far as you can push science fantasy.
Yeah.
Like it is a fantasy show with science fiction elements.
Yeah.
Or based using science fiction elements as a grounding for it. Right?
Yeah.
It's just...
It's got the whole religion, ideology thing going on too. You got the giant serpent, and then Paul has the seeds to the tree of knowledge.
Well, even the necromancers, right, are fucking remember the piece of lore that they said that the Mithraic found them or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
that's
right.
Yeah.
So that she's got superpowers.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah,
right. So, and then we got another superpower android that's just been grown back with the blood or whatever of Father.
And the snake thing, which is part Android.
And the basalt caves with the soul symbol on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So...
And end of season 1, they haven't touched on any of this yet, but those creatures that came out of the water, they're de-evolving. They were humans and they're going backwards.
Okay.
It's a whole bunch of shit going on, which I have no idea what is actually happening. But I'm invested, and I'm... let's see what he does.
Oh yeah, no.
Presumably he knows what he's doing.
Pretty sure. I said to you, I didn't... You find a show, you start watching it, and you go, oh yeah, this is interesting, and then you get past the first episode, and you go, fucking hell.
Yeah.
And you can't stop watching it.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't have that feeling, right, in anticipation of watching... I didn't go out of my way to start watching the second season, right, even though I was so enthralled by the first one.
Yeah.
And I started watching it, and after the first episode, I was like,
yeah.
Why didn't I start watching?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's as good as season 1, if not better.
Oh, yeah. No, it's no, I'd say better.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now they've got a second season, gives you an excuse to not just have an arid planet with a bunch of kind of weird shit going on, right? But lots of weird shit going on.
Yeah, and they expanded their cast of characters. There's all these new characters and the atheists and whatnot. So,
the
Trust.
The Trust.
It gives Paul. It knows Paul's been seeing Marcus.
I was right. Now that was predictable. Totally predictable.
Yeah.
We all knew what was happening. Either it was going to be a tracking. Well, I didn't know it was going to be a fucking bioweapon.
Yeah, the horrific reveal of it was pretty amazing.
I thought it was going to be like a tracking chip. It was obvious he's being manipulated.
Yeah, like, have you seen Marcus? No? Here's your mouse.
Here's your mouse back, right? And it's
We're going to kill Marcus in 24 hours.
Yeah, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. And I thought it was going to be a thing.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a thing. It was a different thing. Where I like a bioweapon.
Marcus doesn't even die because he's got the fucking
Because he's got the eyes,
yeah.
But there's even a comment from his girlfriend or whatever.
Yeah.
And, oh no, he won't be affected because he's got the light of soul or whatever. And
Doesn't anymore.
No, he fucking doesn't. Fuck, that's funny. They're gonna fucking. He's gonna come to a bad end, eh?
Yeah. Well, he's the false prophet.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He is literally the fucking. He is a snake in the grass.
Yeah.
Right?
He believes it though. He's not willingly deceiving them.
I think
he believes in soul and all that
I think he
jazz.
did believe his place within the mythology or whatever. But
he thinks he's the chosen one. Paul thinks he's the chosen one, and Campion could also be
I think
one.
his perception of him being the chosen one is going to dissipate.
Yeah.
Now that he's lost the eye. Yeah. Well, so this weird, vague prophecy. Paul and Campion. Paul and Campion. That's such a great duo.
Yeah, those two little. I was thinking when I was watching it, like, I watched them when they're like 30. Like, there's so much story potential.
I would love to see them grow together.
They're both the same, but they're both different. You can see them parting ways and becoming enemies, but they got all the history. Yeah, that dynamic is great.
That would be great in fucking like 10 years.
Got like the religious zealot, then like the agnostic.
If in 3 or 4 seasons they skip ahead 10 years or something, or 20 years, and it's them, right?
And they both have 2 separate civilizations that they
whatever,
build.
right?
Yeah. Logic and reason, and then religious ideology and all that jazz.
Well, so Mother's gonna try and take
Yeah. Well, yeah, so she beats the fuck out of... No, actually, Marcus beats the fuck out of her, then Campion saves her with a slingshot.
And then she fucking
gets her eyes
evacuates the eyes from Marcus.
Goes back to the collective. The guy asks the trust, like, what are we doing? Like, I'm killer.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
No.
She's got her fucking eye.
That's like great, I love that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I'm glad she got her eyes back.
Because that was the hectic part of like the first episode of season 1.
Exploding
like,
people with her mouth. Yeah. The big reveal that she's a killer fucking...
necromancer monster creature. Yeah, and then it's been nice and grounded and slowly building, and now she's got her power back.
Which was lovely. It was lovely having it sort of nice and grounded and then going, okay, we've done this now. Because it serves to show that the character can deal without having the eyes.
And she's still interesting. And
she's still interesting, right?
Yeah, so she goes in and she's like, I don't give a fuck about this society or anything. My programming is to take care of my children.
Vaccine or you're done.
Yeah. And he's like, you know, I'm trying to make this atheist fucking society survive here. Paul was a willing fucking sacrifice. She's like, no, die.
Yeah. Nah. Vaccine or death.
Turns him off. And I love how immediately the whole society just starts
crumbles.
panicking.
Well, it's not hard to see how that would happen, right? Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. They've been under the watchful wings of Big Brother this entire time. Then as soon as he's gone, that main guy's like, what
where is it? Where is it?
And then she is kind of like, to all of them, is like, I'm your boss now. She's gone full fucking like tyrannical again.
Kind of, sort of. It's weird though. It's benevolent. Again, right, it would be... They didn't have the same... Well, not yet. Yeah. They didn't have the same where somebody doesn't want to do what she wants them to do, and she kills them, right? They even make a comment about that, right? Shut up or she'll kill you. And she's like, oh, you're free to talk. Right, you can talk. Yeah.
I'm another robot. You were just following that robot.
I would actually like to see that develop in that direction.
Yeah, well, ideally she wants them to like cultivate and succeed, and then she wants Campion to lead them. Her whole thing is like atheist society, and that's all what they're for, and Campion is the leader and whatnot. So she doesn't want to murder them all.
But she doesn't often deal well with conflict.
She has anger problems. I like even, there's a few domestic moments with that little Asian girl.
But then, you know, it pays off if she's pulling the chip out to fucking...
Yeah, for the snake. What the fuck? Snakes are so fucking dead-eyed and unempathetic. Dude. They're like, he just eats pumpkins. I'm looking at this thing, I'm like,
no.
That's like, elephants are herbivores, but if an elephant wanted to fuck up people, it could. And that thing is a monster. Like a fucking monster straight out of scripture.
You were looking at it the same way the other people were looking at it standing outside the cave. And they're like, what is the problem? Kill the fucking thing.
Choke it out. Do something. Poison the pumpkins. Yeah, it's amazing how that was kind of the big finale of season 1. Now that's kind of petered off.
You think it was the takeaway from the finale was, it's going to go and multiply or whatever, and it's going to be the big bad.
Yeah,
right?
But it hasn't gone that way
that's
at
not
all.
That's not even a consideration anymore.
And presumably it will play a part in the narrative. I just don't know what part.
No, well, we don't know. We don't know
there's 4 more episodes, so halfway done.
I don't know what the fuck's happening.
Marcus's troop is going to turn against him.
Oh, yeah.
Mother is leading the atheists. This robot that Father's woken up is going to
do something.
Butt heads with Mother?
Yeah, well, it's like a soul analog.
Yeah.
Right, it's obviously, the imagery is obvious that it's...
Yeah.
But it's part of whatever the larger thing, because the whole soul thing is crap, right? It's not fucking soul.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
Within the world, there is no soul.
It is whatever the hell is happening.
Everything that everyone heard from season 1 was a transmission that's coming
from
somewhere.
something. Something is happening.
It's manipulating everyone.
Well, again, even the necromancer androids were found by them. They weren't.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That's so interesting.
Oh, were they now? I'm trying to remember. They either found one or they found the plans to build them. That's like part of their scriptures or whatever.
Yeah, it's part of their religion.
Which, you know, again, I can see why you might be like, yeah, we can probably do this, right? We're probably gonna go the great God in the sky giving us a weapon against fucking the atheists. It's so fucking. I love the two factions.
Yeah. It's the same old fucking thing that humanity's been going through for.
And they're both evil.
Ever.
They're both evil.
Yeah.
Absolutely evil to the fucking core.
Yeah.
Right? Child soldiers, unthinking machine, leading
unempathetic sacrifices to the cause.
People, the society being held together only by what is essentially the threat of force. Right? Yeah.
The hierarchy becomes corrupt eventually, and they talk about Earth and all that corruption.
The passing the baton sort of thing, right? It would have taken like hundreds of years for the society to mature to a point where it wouldn't just turn into a fucking dystopian nightmare, right? Yeah. Which it kind of sort of was. Yeah, we're just broken, flawed fucking monkeys in shoes who still believe in people in the sky 10,000 years in the future when we have necromancer robots and interstellar space travel. The cycle repeats. Oh, yeah, well that's... fucking great. It's so crazy.
Yeah, so in conclusion, it looks beautiful. It looks really original and unique. It's kind of building off the whole Ridley-verse and Alien and whatnot.
White blood for androids and da-da-da-da.
And it kind of has those aesthetics of like Alien and stuff.
Yeah, well,
I hope they don't tie it in, because I don't want this to be part of Alien Covenant or any of that garbage.
One of the most realistic depictions of like future technology, ironically, and this is leading directly on from the Alien movies, is fucking After Earth by bloody M. Night Shyamalan.
Okay.
Right, well, the sort of like in the first Alien movie, right, the interior of the ship, like the living quarters
all
being...
industrial and whatnot.
Well, no, but like the white cloth, chunky cloth or whatever, and the fucking, you know, the sort of like much more comforting in a lot of ways than the sort of industrial stuff, right? Because that was a good mix between them, right? And the androids, rather than being purely mechanical, are like organic. Sort of dealy,
like organs and whatnot, like synthetic organs and whatnot.
Synthetic organs. So it's an interesting.
Yeah.
Again, it is building off that and taking fucking whatever crazy direction.
Yeah. So it looks beautiful. There are several well-defined, complex, compelling characters that I actually am emotionally invested in.
All of our main cast.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Right? Great.
The 2 boys, the 2 androids.
Fucking Hunter and what's-her-face is pregnant with a great baby.
Travis
Fimmel.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure to watch Travis Fimmel. And we don't need a big cast. We don't we don't need fucking Idris Elba, and we don't need fucking blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I don't know where the fuck these people come from.
Yeah, I don't know where they got these people from.
Travis Fimmel comes from a sheep farm in Melbourne. Other than that, these people, I've not seen them in anything else. I have no idea who they are or where they come from, but they're like top of the tier, amazing actors.
Top tier. Yeah. I would be surprised if we don't see these people move on to go and do fucking AAA shit.
Yeah. Mother and father deserve to be, like A-list.
I might have seen Father somewhere, maybe, but probably not.
I remember like a casting agent being on Joe Rogan before and him just saying straight out like it doesn't matter the acting or the look or how much you suit the character, it's all about name value.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
about Tom Cruise, Chris Hemsworth. So the whole of Hollywood is it doesn't matter how good you are. It's like we were talking about the new Matrix. It's like they could make a dystopian like Terminator 2 thing, but they need Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
That's why people go to see movies. Because a famous Hollywood actor.
Well, Dune, right? Like, it's I love that movie, right? But it's almost comical.
The cast.
The cast is comical, right? Particularly for how they were utilised, which is not at all.
Yeah.
Right? You had, maybe 30% were our main.
Yeah.
And then the rest of them are like,
come here and go.
You're gone, right?
A-list fucking actors.
Yeah,
it's just a sad reality, I guess, that people, a massive draw for cinema and tickets and all that fucking industry is celebrities. But television, I mean...
free game, right? Well, again, it was...
good on these nobodies.
It's like any good show, right? It's like, you can have your AAA actors, right? But everybody, you can't have them and then have them stand out from everybody else, right? It's dumb if that happens.
You reach a certain level of celebrity and it's like, oh, that's Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
I can't not see Tom Cruise.
No, and that Tom Cruise is capable of acting of fucking...
Magnolia is amazing.
They can be whatever character. That's why they're AAA actors. For the most part, right?
Professional.
But who knows, right? It's about being able to draw, oftentimes it's potentially about being able to draw out the acting out of an actor, right? Rather than the merit of the actor themselves. So who fucking knows, right? With this, but all I know is that they're perfect, right?
Nobody is bad or sticks out or ruins it.
Especially the young kids, right? It's hard. It's hard to do that. Right?
Yeah, and even all the young children, like they all have individual, defined personalities and motivations and ideologies.
Well, we're looking, as we said, we're looking forward to Cambion and Paul, doing their thing, and as you said,
going on their individual paths that coalesce.
And they're well defined, right? They're well defined characters.
Absolutely. So it looks beautiful and unique. Amazing characters that are well written. I have no idea where the fuck it's going. It's not predictable. And it's weird and sci-fi and fantasy and not as much horror, but there are some horror elements.
I mean, when she started bloody... what's the word? Where the milk starts coming out of it?
Lactating.
That's like body horror.
Or like, that lady cutting her like android daughter's face off with a scalpel. It's like an analogue of her daughter, which she may or may not have originally killed, then replaced her with an android, and now she's cutting the face of her android daughter.
The irony, of course, is that she was caught up in the power of the eyes.
And now the eyes are gone. And her daughter's laying dead at the bottom of a ditch. Well, her daughter.
We'll see if Travis Flamel gets his face fucking cut up in retribution. That is not going to end well. Poor Travis. He's gonna come to a
He's
bad
gonna have a
end.
hard time trying to convince these people that he's the worthy leader. Follow me, follow me. Oh, my power's gone. You can still follow me though. Yeah.
It was yeah, no, that was a great story thread, right? Because they had where he rescued the Mithrite prisoners or whatever from the fucking the shepherd.
Yeah.
Right, and they're like, and the blonde one who's really sort of pious.
Yeah.
Is like still calling him.
Yeah.
Whatever, right? And it's like, I'm sure there's a movie. It's like a cult. It was a cult, right? But the charisma in this instance was coming from the eyes rather than the character, right? Which is funny.
Yeah. And now that he's over this side of the planet, he's not going to get that signal either.
No. Yeah.
Because he thought Soul was talking to him. So he doesn't have the eyes. He's not going to hear the voice of Soul. All he's got is his wit and his fleshy, soft human body, which can't beat up androids anymore and get tanks or anything. Although I guess they got the tank with like a grenade, so
Yeah.
he's a human.
Yeah.
He's somewhat capable.
Well, no, but the only reason that he didn't get exposed to radiation, which they did bring up, which didn't come back into it,
Yeah.
was because of the charisma that was able to get the other guy to volunteer.
The other
right?
guy's like, I'll do it. You're the grand leader.
So that's funny.
Yeah, it started off somewhere, and it's successfully cultivated like 3 or 4 different crazy storylines, which have escalated to a certain point, and I'm excited to see where they conclude.
It's a hell of an achievement to start somewhere that's essentially grounded. Right in the beginning couple episodes.
Well, it's grounded in comparison to where season 1 left off, because that started here and ended here. Then season 1 was kind of, started back here. Now it's slowly going up again. It's an arc.
Yeah.
You build the tension and suspense.
An arc of crazy fucking insanity. Right?
I was shocked how insane season 1 got by the end. When she's like birthing the snake and she's just picking up tablets and having visions of things vomiting alien blood. I didn't even know. Like half of it was just like, what is even happening here?
Yeah, well, I think it's a feat in and of itself to start somewhere where it starts and then fucking end up where it ends up, right?
Yeah.
Without it feeling like, disorientating.
Yeah, so we'll see if they can encompass all that madness, but they still need to satisfy the audience with some answers and some conclusions.
They're going to need another 4 seasons to wrap everything up.
I heard it was critically acclaimed. I don't know what the viewership is. It's on HBO Max.
Yeah.
And HBO are pretty fucking loyal to their shows. They're not just going to up and cancel it.
Yeah.
So presumably it will keep on going and hopefully get some kind of a following. Although I don't know if the average person could watch this.
No. Absolutely not.
Could Grandma sit down and watch
Who
this?
is even watching this? Right? Who is what? We're watching it.
We're watching it. I don't know if other people are watching it.
Probably not.
It's just hardcore sci-fi fanatics, I guess.
Oh, it is the hardest, coriest fucking sci-fi fantasy that you
horror, body horror.
Everything. Well, it's everything we love, which is funny.
Yeah,
right?
it seems to be an amalgamation of everything I want from media. Unique, brutal, alternative, non-conventional, and very well executed. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.